After a sudden storm wrecks her yacht, marine biology student Claire Nolan is left stranded at sea, injured, alone, and drifting. With no food or water, she prepares to die. But then a large shark begins circling her. Instead of attacking, it starts bringing her fish, and even nudges a sealed water bottle toward her. Over the next days, the shark returns again and again. Whether it's instinct, coincidence, or something more, that shark keeps her alive. Claire Nolan had checked the weather twice before setting sail. She was cautious by nature. A graduate student in marine biology, she planned a solo trip across a quiet stretch of the South Pacific to collect water samples and observe reef activity. Her boat was small, just 22 feet, but well-stocked. She wasn't reckless. She had done shorter solo trips before. The first day went smoothly. Clear skies, calm waters. Claire recorded notes, took photos, and sent a quick satellite message to her advisor confirming everything was fine. But around midnight, the wind shifted. Fast. A low rumble rolled across the horizon, and within minutes, she was facing wind speeds over 50 knots. Her sails whipped violently. The boat groaned. Claire tried to correct the heading, but a wall of water struck from the port side, flipping the yacht almost instantly. She never made it below deck. She was thrown hard against the railing, slicing open her shoulder. The mast snapped. Equipment scattered. The emergency beacon was crushed. She barely managed to strap on her life vest and grab a floating panel from the cabin wall before being swept into the darkness. By morning, the storm had passed. Just endless water in all directions. No sail, no land, no radio. Claire clung to the shattered fiberglass, shaking from cold, her shoulder bleeding steadily. The sun rose, bright and unforgiving. She tried to ration her strength. There was no shade, no container to catch rain. Her lips cracked within hours. She thought of her parents, of her unfinished thesis. She ran through every survival protocol she could remember, but they all started with the same line. Stay near your vessel. Hers was gone. Late that afternoon, drifting half-conscious, she saw the dorsal fin. At first, she didn't move. The shadow passed beneath her, then circled back. Claire braced for pain. Nothing came. Just silence. The shark moved slowly, watching her. A massive body, maybe 8 or 9 feet long. No jerks, no teeth. It just lingered. She wasn't sure how long it stayed, but it didn't leave. And neither did she. As the sun dropped below the waterline, Claire gripped the raft tighter, the salt drying into her skin. One thought remained, burned into her brain beneath the fever and fear. It should have killed her, but it didn't. By the second morning, Claire was no longer thinking clearly. Her skin was blistered, her lips swollen. The wound on her shoulder had crusted over but throbbed with each breath. She hadn't spoken a word in hours. Her throat was too dry. She drifted in and out of awareness, floating on the same shattered panel of fiberglass, the ocean stretching in all directions without hint of rescue. The shark returned. Same size, same slow movement. Claire saw the dorsal fin first, then the dark shadow circling beneath her. Panic flickered again, but she had no strength to act on it. She closed her eyes. Let it happen. But the attack never came. Instead, she heard a splash near her left hand. She turned her head slowly. A fish, freshly dead, floating beside her. A yellow fin, maybe a foot long. She stared. The shark hovered nearby, just under the surface, watching. Claire reached out and pulled the fish onto the panel. Her fingers barely worked. She bit into it raw. Blood ran down her chin. She chewed without tasting. Every bite was a fight to stay conscious. That night, she hallucinated. Lights in the sky, voices calling her name, a helicopter passing so low she swore she felt the wind. But morning came again, and she was still there. Still floating. Still alive. By late afternoon, the shark came back. Claire tracked it with her eyes. It swam off briefly, then returned, pushing something through the water with its snout. It was round, plastic, a bottle. Her heart kicked. She reached for it, missed, tried again. Her arm burned. The bottle bumped against her raft. She grabbed it. Clear water inside. Sealed. She didn't ask how. She didn't care if it was coincidence or current. She broke the seal and drank. The plastic tasted like sun and salt, but the water inside was clean. She sipped slowly. She cried without making a sound. That night she whispered to the shark. A single word. Mira. It was barely a sound, but she said it again and again. The shark didn't answer. It just stayed close. And Claire understood. It wasn't just luck keeping her alive. Something had chosen not to let her die. Day 4 began with silence. No breeze, no clouds. The ocean was flat like glass. Claire woke with her face pressed to the panel, skin hot to the touch, eyes crusted shut from salt. She forced them open. The world swam. She had to blink for nearly a minute before anything came into focus. The shark was there, waiting, drifting about 10 feet from her. It wasn't moving much, just gently rocking with the current. Claire raised her head and gave the only greeting she could manage. A nod. Her neck hurt doing it. By now, she didn't question the routine. The shark swam off and returned an hour later. This time it didn't bring a fish. It pushed something larger through the water. A broken cooler lid. Claire watched as the shark nosed it toward her raft. It bumped against her side and stayed there, like a second float. She pulled it closer. A few dry wrappers were stuck to the plastic. One of them held something inside. She peeled it open. A protein bar, soggy but sealed. She stared at it like it was gold, ate it slowly, saved the last bite for later. Her stomach cramped after the first few chews. She didn't stop. That afternoon, a plane passed overhead, white, small, and fast. Claire waved with everything she had. She screamed, stood up, and almost slipped off the raft. She threw a wrapper into the air like a signal. The plane didn't turn. No change in altitude. No rescue. She sat back down. No tears left. The shark didn't leave. Each evening the pattern repeated. The shark would vanish for hours and then return. Sometimes with fish, sometimes with floating debris. On the 5th day, it brought rope. Claire tied it to the cooler lid, extending her raft. She talked to the shark in whispers, told it about her brother, her thesis, her cat back home, the things people talk about when no one's listening. She began to study the shark, its size, its coloring, female, probably a tiger shark based on the pattern along its sides, 9 feet long at least. Intelligent eyes, no scars. It didn't act like any wild shark she had read about. It never came too close, never tried to bite, and it always returned. By day 6, Claire didn't hope for rescue anymore. She just waited for Mira. Day 9 began with emptiness. The shark was gone. For the first time in days, Claire felt alone in the true sense of the word. The ocean was still. Her body was weak. Her skin peeled in sheets. Her mouth tasted like blood and salt. She lay flat on the panel and stared at the sky. She couldn't lift her arms, couldn't speak. Her pulse slowed to a crawl. No fish, no bottle, no shadow circling below. She tried to sit up, but her limbs refused. Even her thoughts came slow now. She no longer imagined rescue. No more planes, no more noise. Just the sun and the sea and the quiet certainty that her body was shutting down. Sometime around midday, the water shifted. Claire felt it first. A vibration through the panel. Then she saw it. The fin. Mira was back. But something was different. The shark was swimming faster. Circling in short, tight loops, it nudged the raft repeatedly, not hard, but enough to break the stillness, enough to get her attention. Claire blinked, tried to raise her head, couldn't. The shark bumped her again, then swam forward, stopped, turned, returned, nudged her once more, swam forward again, repeated. Claire understood. Move. She gathered the last fragments of strength and pushed with her elbows. The raft shifted. She hooked the tide cooler lid and kicked gently with her legs. Every movement was pain, but she followed the shark. It swam ahead slowly, circling back when she drifted off course, guiding, not forcing, always staying close. After what felt like hours, the sound changed, a hum in the distance, low and steady. Claire turned her head. A vessel, large, gray, moving along the horizon. She waved one arm, barely. The shark swam ahead at full speed, disappeared. Claire slumped forward, vision dimming. She didn't see the cutter slow, didn't hear the shouting. She only felt strong hands lift her from the water. A towel pressed to her face, a voice calling her name. When she woke, she was on a stretcher, IV in her arm, oxygen mask on her face. A paramedic leaned over her. "You're lucky. We almost missed you." She looked past him, out the window. Just for a second. A fin. Then it vanished.